Students, welcome to 9th class Physical Sciences Motion Lesson Part 4. In the Part 1, 2, 3, you have learned distance, displacement, acceleration, uniform motion, non-uniform motion. In this lesson, you will learn about the derivations when an object is under uniform acceleration. Derivations of that three equations of motion and the lab activity. So objectives of this lesson is, after end of this lesson you will able to learn the derivations. You can calculate the acceleration and velocity after the lab activity. So the first equations of motion. Okay, so for the first equation of motion, it is V is equal to U plus AT. How you will get means, suppose a motorist traveling with a uniform motion. That means he is covering equal distances or velocities or changes in equal intervals of time. Okay, let us draw a graph between the time and the velocity. Okay, first second, second second, third second, he reaches the changes. Okay, initially he is traveling, okay, with a speed, initial speed always indicated with a letter small u. Okay, so at the end of 0 seconds or starting, the initial velocity is u. Okay, at the end of the final, that means t seconds, his velocity is v. Okay, always final velocity is indicated with the letter v. Initial velocity u, final velocity v. Okay, so is changes in the velocities. That means rate of change of velocity is acceleration. Already you have learned in the previous classes, isn't it? So acceleration formula, what is the formula for acceleration? It is v minus u by t. When you cross multiply, what you will get? V minus u is equal to at, isn't it? So at is equal to v minus u. Or if you transpose the u to the other side, then what you will get? If u is transport to the other side, then v is equal to u plus at. That is the first equation of motion. So what is the first equation of motion? V is equal to u plus at. That means I will revise again once again. Suppose at the end of the t seconds, if its velocity is v, initially the time is 0 and the initial velocity is u, then rate of change of velocity is final velocity minus initial velocity by time, that is acceleration. So acceleration is equal to v minus u by t, or a is equal to v minus u by t. When you cross multiply, then what you will get is at is equal to v minus u, and v minus u transposed to the left hand side, then v is equal to u plus at. That is the first equation of motion. So if the body is moving under constant acceleration, that means it changes its velocity equally. Okay, then the body is under constant acceleration. At that time, what is the average velocity? Then it must be equal to the initial velocity plus final velocity by 2. Okay, already you have learned average velocity is also equal to displacement by time, isn't it? In the previous classes you have learned average velocity is equal to displacement by time. And also the first equation of motion, what it said? It is equal to v is equal to u plus at, isn't it? When you take all these three, first here these average velocities are same, so we can compare. When the LHS are same, then RHS are also same. That means displacement by time must be equal to v plus u by 2. that means v plus u by 2 is equal to s by t, where s is the displacement. Now you have learned already the first equation of motion. What is it? The v is equal to u plus at. When you substitute v is equal to, instead of v you write u plus at, then what you will get is okay, so what I am doing here, I am substituting the, instead of v I wrote u plus at. Okay, so that means u plus at plus u by 2 is equal to s by t, isn't it? Okay, now u plus u 2u plus at by 2 is equal to s by t. Okay, now here dividing by 2, okay, then what you will get is s is equal to ut plus half at square. How? The when you multiply the t with the numerator on the LHS side, then what you will get is u into t plus half at square. That is the equation of another equation, that is displacement is equal to ut plus half at square. So this is the second equation of motion. So in the third equation of motion, acceleration is equal to v minus u by t, and make the t as a subject, then v minus u by a will be the t. That is equation 4. And already you have learned the second equation. What is the second equation? v plus u by t is equal to s by t, isn't it? And cross multiply the t and transpose to the other side, then what you will get is v plus u by t into t is equal to s, isn't it? So here what you have got in the t in the fourth equation, t is equal to v minus u by a. If you substitute v minus u by a instead of t in that equation, then what you will get is v plus u by t, okay, into v minus u by a is equal to s, isn't it? So here if you substitute and multiply these two, a plus b into a minus b, that is a square minus b square. So a square minus b square, that means v square minus u square is equal to 2as, is the required third equation of motion. That is v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So these are the three equations of motion. First one is v is equal to u plus at. Second one, s is equal to ut plus half at square. Third one, v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Let us learn the third equation again. So here what you have learned, acceleration is equal to, okay, the then a is equal to v minus u by t. When you transpose, then what the first equation you got here, v is equal to u plus at is the first equation of motion. Then second equation is s is equal to ut plus half at square, and third equation is v square minus u square is equal to 2 into a into s. So these are the three equations of motion. Understood? Good. Now another fourth equation of motion, that is distance traveled in nth second. Okay, normally we take all the only three equations of motion, but this equation of motion is also you have to learn. Okay, distance traveled in nth second. Suppose a body is falling freely. Okay, here a body is falling freely. Okay, it reaches the ground after n seconds. It reaches the ground after nth second. Then what is the distance traveled in nth second? You have to calculate. Okay, what you have to calculate? The distance traveled in nth second. Suppose this is the distance traveled in n seconds, and this is the distance traveled in n minus 1 seconds. That means t is equal to n minus 1. and here t is equal to n. So distance traveled in the last second or nth second, how much it takes, that if I ask to calculate, how can you get the equation? Now you learn from here. Okay, so what you are taken? You are taken a body is falling freely. So a stone is dropped freely from a certain height. Okay, normally already you learned initial velocity of a freely falling body is always 0. Suppose if you want to jump from a table, your velocity is 0. So you will increase your velocity while falling down, isn't it? So initial velocity is 0 meters per second, and here n some distance traveled in nth second, that is we want to calculate, isn't it? But already you know displacement s is equal to ut plus half at square, isn't it? Here s is equal to ut plus half at square, that is distance traveled. Okay, that is nth second. What it will be? Instead of t, write n. So un plus half an square at the end of n seconds. The same way n minus 1, that is 1 second before, that is n minus 1 seconds. So instead of t, write down n minus 1. So instead of t, write down n minus 1. So u into n minus 1 plus half into a into n minus 1 whole square. Okay, so but what is the distance we have to calculate? Distance traveled in the nth second, that means sum of the distance traveled in n seconds minus displacement in the n minus 1 seconds. So if you subtract these two, what you will get is the distance traveled in the nth second. So s of n minus 1 minus s of n minus s of n minus 1 will give you the distance traveled in nth second. I'll repeat again. Sn is equal to s of nth second minus s of n minus 1 seconds. But s of n seconds is un plus half n square. S of n minus 1 is u into n minus 1 plus half into a into n minus 1 whole square. That only you have to write here in the two brackets, isn't it? So here s of n, and here it is s of n minus 1. So it is a minus b whole square. So substitute the value, multiply with half a, and here u into n, un, and minus u into un is minus un minus u into minus 1 plus u, and half into a into n minus 1 whole square. What you will get is half an square plus half a into 2n minus half a, which is equal to what? When you substitute, when you simplify here, not substitute, simplify, un minus un get cancelled, half an square plus minus half an square get cancelled, and here what remain is here u and a into n, an minus half. These three only remains. So u plus an minus half a. When you simplify it, taking a as common and n minus half, so u plus a into n minus half is the nth second or displacement in nth second. So displacement in nth second, Sn is equal to u plus a into n minus half is the fourth equation of motion. Normally this will not be considered as an equation of motion, only three equations of motion are there, but this derivation you have to learn. Okay, understood? Now the lab activity. You will learn in this lab activity how to find out the acceleration and velocities of an object moving in an inclined plane. So when an object is moving in an inclined plane, how can you find out the acceleration and velocity? Okay, and also you can learn how to draw the graph between the distance and displacement. So to do any activity, the materials required. Okay, so in this you require some glass marbles, stack of books, digital clock, long plastic tubes. Okay, that means which are used in the electrical connections. Okay, and here a steel plate is required. Let us take, instead of steel plate, you can also take the iron stack of books, marbles, digital clock, and metallic scale. These are the materials required to do this activity. It's a very simple one. Now continue with the activity. So already I told you glass marbles, book, digital clock, long plastic tubes and steel plate are required to do this activity. So arrange them, the books. So procedure is arrange the books and leave the marble in an inclined plane. At the end it touches the iron scale. Okay, so automatically the ball without any force acting on external force acting on it, it goes down. How can it goes down? There is always a gravitational force which pulls down. Okay, isn't it? Now just stack the books and place the plastic in a like a path, and at the end place a metal scale. Okay, if you allow the marble to goes down, already you learned initially it goes with less speed, and its speed increases gradually. That means it covers less distance in the first second and more distance in the next seconds, isn't it? So let us allow the marble to goes down. Okay, when it hits the scale, okay, when it start the stop clock, and when it hits the scale, a sound will be observed. Immediately stop the clock, then note down the time. Okay, so using the digital clock, you just simply use the stop clock and note down the time for the first. Okay, and again you have to repeat the same experiment for several number of times so that you can get the different time. Okay, note down those timings 1, 2, 3. Okay, note down the timings. Let us say you have to do this activity for minimum 3 number of times. Note down the timings each time. Okay, when it hits the scale, a sound is produced. A ball is rolling down the plastic tube. Okay, and hits the scale, it makes a sound. So note down the timing using a digital clock. Okay, so let us take the timings are T1, T2 and T3. So how can you get the average time? That means let the average time be T. Then it is very easy to understand. T1 plus T2 plus T3 by number of observations is 3. So T1 plus T2 by 3 by 3 will give you the average time. Note down the average time and calculate the average time. Okay. Then you know the distance, isn't it? The length of the plastic scale or the plastic tube. Okay, that half cutted plastic tube, you can increase the distance also on the ground also. So you can measure the own or you can take the own distance. Okay, let us take that as a distance traveled, and let it be S. Okay, then already you learned S is equal to UT plus half AT square. So a marble is rolling down from the top of the stack of the books. So rolling down from the top, that means initial velocity is 0. So here u is equal to 0. When u is equal to 0, then here ut becomes 0. So this becomes 0. Then s is equal to half AT square, isn't it? So when s is equal to half AT square, and make the a as a subject. So S ut is becomes 0. So S is equal to half AT square. So make the A as a subject and cross multiply. Then what you will get is A is equal to 2S by T square. So from this equation only you are getting, isn't it? Ut is 0 and make the subject as A. So 2 into 2 will go to the this numerator side and 2s by t square. So if you know the distance and time, distance is calculated by this length, isn't it? And a time with the help of the clock. So note down the readings and you can easily calculate the acceleration. And when you know the distance or displacement, you can calculate the velocity, that is displacement by time. So can you calculate both by using this experiment, isn't it? If you know the time and distance. What is the acceleration formula? A is equal to 2s by t square and velocity is equal to displacement by time. So let us draw the graph between distance and time. Normally time axis means the x-axis and the distance is under y-axis. Okay, now let us take in the first second it travel up to 4 and second if the distance is 8, it take 2 seconds. If the distance is 12, it takes 3 seconds. Then it is going in a uniform motion. Okay, you can clearly see the graph and you can calculate the acceleration and velocity. So what you have learned till now, you have learned the 4 equations of motion, that is 4 derivations in this. Okay, v is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at square, v square minus u square is equal to 2as, and nth second is equal to u plus a into n minus half, and also to find out the acceleration using a formula a is equal to 2s by t square in a lab. Okay children, have you learned completely? Good. Try to recollect, or if you got any doubt, again revise the video and learn again. Okay, thank you.